Hello, my name is Amanda Rees, and my word for today is pedagogy, which I define as a reiterative reflection of how skills and knowledge are shared within my learning context. So you can see information about my institution on the right, but I'm going to focus the bullet point on the left. So my classes are all project-centered. Everything is wrapped around those projects. So the content, the theory, the skills development is all focused on the successful completion of that community project. So building collaborative relationships both within my classroom and between my students and our community partners is really, really important. So thinking more broadly, or sort of unpicking that idea, the skills that students need to be good community geographers is respect for diverse perspectives, respect for community-based knowledge, and collaborative problem solving. So how can I support the evolution of those skills in my pedagogical practice? So when I was lecturing in a more formal manner, say 10 or 12 years ago, I was not seeing that skills development, and that was problematic. So about a decade ago, I discovered team-based learning, and you can see the infographic here in front of you. So each module goes through this 5-step process, and my modules are about 2 weeks long. So in a regular semester of 15 weeks, we will reiterate this team-based learning process about 7 or 8 times. So, so why team-based learning? Why is it important for community geography? So I think in any collaborative project, it's really important to hold individuals accountable. And in that first step, you see between 1 and 2, students are individually completing pre-work before they come into the class. That's their homework that's front-loaded. Could be readings, could be videos, with a reading guide to help prepare them for their first readiness assurance test. So as soon as they walk in the door in the first day of the module, they are being tested over their pre-work, pre-course work, pre-class work. Grades aren't great necessarily. They can be pretty good, but there's a sort of a mix. Then as soon as they finish that, they flip into the team readiness assurance test, what we call TRAS. And that way you're seeing a lot of peer instruction, a lot of social construction of knowledge. So it's not the sage on the stage telling them how to understand things, it's them working that out for themselves. And once they finish that, that's when I step in with the clarifying doubts with maybe some mini lectures or some conversation about team responses. And then we sort of nail down the basics of what they'll need. So they have a basic readiness. Then for the next half of the module, if not 3/4, we're looking at applying those concepts that they've mastered in the first phase, the theory phase, to answer questions. So they're doing that in a team. So there's reiterative integration of theory and application. So they get into the sort of the habit of that. I create very diverse teams of typically meta-disciplines. So I mix business folks with medical folks, with humanities folks, so they can all hear these different perspectives. All right. One of the challenges of using team-based learning, because I want them to get comfortable with this in my core classes, so they are going to hit the ground running in my community geography upper level classes. There are some students, a small minority, but are still resistant to this mode of instruction because it's not the typical lecture, and then I haven't been necessarily required to prepare for a class. So that can be pretty challenging for a few folks. Upper level students really embrace this because they see the value of it. For more information, because this is a very brief overview, I would recommend you connect with a team-based learning collaborative. So in conclusion, for community geography pedagogy in my class, team-based learning is essential in developing and reiterating the skills that are most valued in community geography practice. Thank you.